The Valari Empire had ruled the stars for 3,000 years. They had conquered 17 different species across 3 galaxies. Their slave camps held millions. Their warships numbered in the thousands. No one challenged them. No one escaped them. No one even tried anymore. Commander Dex stood on the bridge of his ship, the Dusk Hammer, watching the small human transport drift in space. His 4 eyes blinked slowly. His blue-scaled skin reflected the light from the control panels. He was bored. This was too easy. Scan complete, his officer reported. 23 life forms. All human. No weapons worth noting. Their ship is damaged. They cannot run. Dex clicked his teeth together. This was his 47th capture mission. Humans were new to the galaxy. They had only discovered faster than light travel 50 years ago. They were primitive, weak, perfect for the labor camps. Board them, Dex ordered. Take them alive. The mines on Crick 7 need fresh workers. The boarding party moved quickly. 30 Valari soldiers crossed into the human ship through the airlock. Dex watched through the cameras as his men spread through the corridors. The humans would surrender. They always did. Every species did, eventually. Then the screaming started. Dex leaned forward in his command chair. On the screen, he saw something impossible. An old human male with gray hair was fighting his soldiers. Not just fighting, destroying them. The human moved like water. One soldier swung a shock baton. The old human grabbed his arm, twisted, and the soldier's elbow bent the wrong way. Another soldier raised his weapon. The human was already behind him, hands around his neck. A third soldier died with his own knife buried in his throat. "What is this?" Dex whispered. "Unknown, Commander. The human appears to be skilled." 3 Valari soldiers lay dead before the stun beams finally hit the old human. He fell to his knees, still trying to fight, still reaching for the nearest enemy. 4 more shots put him down completely. Dex watched his soldiers drag the unconscious human toward the airlock. Behind the old male, he noticed something else. A small human. A child. A female with brown hair and brown eyes. She was maybe 7 or 8 years old by human counting. The child did not cry. She did not scream or beg. She simply walked beside the soldiers, her small hand held by a human female who was trying to comfort her. But the child needed no comfort. She was looking at everything. The walls. The soldiers. The weapons. The control panels. Her eyes moved constantly, taking in every detail. One of Dex's soldiers noticed this. "Commander, the small one. It watches us strangely." "It is a juvenile," Dex replied. "Juveniles are curious." "It means nothing." The prisoners were brought aboard the Dusk Hammer. Dex came down to inspect them personally. 23 humans in total. Farmers, scientists, families. They had been traveling to a new colony world when their ship malfunctioned. Wrong place. Wrong time. Now they belonged to the Valari Empire. Dex stopped in front of the old human male. 2 soldiers held him up. He was conscious now, blood running from a cut on his forehead. His eyes were hard and cold like stone. "You killed 3 of my soldiers," Dex said. "Impressive for a primitive." The old human said nothing. He just stared. "What are you? Some kind of warrior?" "Marine," the human said. His voice was rough and low. "Retired." Dex did not know what a Marine was. He did not care. "You will work in our mines until you die. Your fighting days are over." The old human smiled. It was not a friendly smile. "You have no idea what you just did." Dex laughed. He had heard threats before. Every species made them at first. They all broke eventually. He turned to look at the other prisoners and found the child standing directly in front of him. She had moved without anyone noticing. The soldiers who should have been holding her looked confused. They had not seen her slip away. "Hello," the child said. Her voice was calm and clear. Vex looked down at her. Humans were strange creatures. Their children were so small, so fragile. In the Velari Empire, children were kept in growth facilities until they were useful. They did not travel with adults. They did not see violence. "You are the old one's offspring?" Vex asked. "Granddaughter," the child said. "My name is Lily. What is your name?" Vex was amused. The juvenile had manners. "I am Commander Vex." "Commander Vex," Lily repeated slowly. She tilted her head to one side. "You are making a mistake." "Oh? And what mistake is that?" "My grandpa told me about honey badgers," Lily said. "Do you know what a honey badger is?" Vex did not. He also did not care. "Some earth creature, I assume." "Yes, they are small. Smaller than me. But they are very mean. They fight things much bigger than them. Lions, hyenas, snakes. They do not care. They do not stop. They do not give up. Ever." Vex clicked his teeth in amusement. "And you think you are a honey badger, little human?" Lily shook her head slowly. "No, I think you just put 2 honey badgers in a cage. And honey badgers really hate cages." For a moment, something cold moved through Vex's chest. The child's eyes were not afraid. They were not sad. They were calculating, measuring, learning. Then the moment passed. Vex laughed loudly. His soldiers laughed with him. "Take them to the holding cells," he ordered. "This one has spirit. The mines will crush that soon enough." The soldiers grabbed Lily and pulled her back to her grandfather. Jack wrapped his arms around her immediately, checking her for injuries. "I am okay, Grandpa," Lily said quietly. "I counted everything. 47 soldiers on this ship. 12 doors with locks. The codes have 9 numbers each." Jack looked at his granddaughter. Most people thought children were helpless. Most people were wrong. Human children were not incomplete adults. They were learning machines. They watched. They remembered. They understood far more than anyone gave them credit for. "Good girl," Jack whispered. "Keep counting." As the soldiers led them away, Lily looked back at Commander Vex one more time. He was already giving orders for the journey to the slave station. He had already forgotten her. That was his biggest mistake, because Lily never forgot anything. And she was just getting started. Station Crick 7 floated in the darkness between stars. It was massive, cold, gray, a place where hope came to die. Over 40,000 slaves from 12 different species lived inside its metal walls. They worked. They suffered. They waited for death. The Velari had built this place 500 years ago. In all that time, no one had escaped. The security was perfect. Neural dampeners stopped prisoners from thinking clearly. Gravity fields could crush anyone who tried to run. Guards patrolled every corridor. Cameras watched every corner. The human prisoners arrived on a transport ship. They were pushed and pulled through long hallways. Other slaves watched them pass. Some of those slaves had fur. Some had scales. Some had too many eyes or not enough limbs. All of them had the same empty look. The look of creatures who had given up. Jack walked with his head high. He studied everything. The guard rotations, the door mechanisms, the distance between checkpoints. Old habits never died. He had been a Marine for 30 years. His body was old now, but his mind was sharp. Lily held his hand. She was quiet, patient. Her eyes moved constantly, just like her grandfather's. She counted steps. She memorized turns. She watched the guards type their codes into the door panels. They were placed in a cell together. It was small and gray with 2 hard beds and a toilet. An energy field covered the door. Through the field, they could see the corridor and the other cells. Thousands of prisoners in thousands of cages. Jack sat on one bed. Lily sat beside him. "Are you scared, sweetheart?" he asked quietly. "No, Grandpa." "Good. Fear is okay to feel. But we do not let it control us." Lily nodded. She pulled her knees up to her chest. I counted 112 guards between the landing bay and here. The energy field on our door flickers every 18 minutes. It stays off for 2 seconds. Jack stared at her. He had trained soldiers who noticed less than this child. "The codes," Lily continued. "The guards typed them fast. But I watched their fingers. I know 3 codes already. Maybe 4. Jack felt something warm in his chest. Pride, love, hope. "Lily, you are the most dangerous person on this station," he said softly. "And they have no idea." Over the next 3 weeks, the humans settled into the routine of the station. They were sent to work in the processing facilities. They sorted minerals. They cleaned machines. They did whatever the Valari told them to do. But they also watched and planned and waited. Among the human prisoners was a woman named Emma. She had been an engineer on their transport ship. Her mind worked like a computer. She studied the station systems every chance she got. "The life support is centralized," she whispered to Jack during a work shift. "One main control room. If we could reach it, we could control the oxygen levels in any section. Could you lower it enough to knock out guards without killing them?" Emma nodded. It would be tricky. But yes, there was also Matt. He had been a firefighter back on Earth, big and strong with hands that could bend metal. He had already made friends with prisoners from other species. A group of furred creatures called the Thorax, a race of tall, thin beings called the Mira. All of them wanted freedom. None of them knew how to get it. And there was Grace, a doctor. She had spent 20 years treating patients in war zones and disaster areas. Nothing scared her. Nothing made her quit. "If we move, we will have injured," she told Jack. "I can keep people alive, but I need supplies." "Medical bay is on level 4, Lily said. Everyone looked at her. She was sitting in the corner, drawing shapes in the dust on the floor. I saw a guard go there when he hurt his hand. "The door code is 7-7-3-9-2-1-8-4-1. Grace blinked. "You remember all that?" "I remember everything." The days passed. The plan grew. Jack coordinated quietly, passing messages through looks and whispers. The Valari did not notice. Why would they? These were just slaves. Broken, helpless, waiting to die. One evening, a Valari overseer named Drex came to inspect the human section. He was cruel, even by Valari standards. He enjoyed causing pain. He enjoyed watching prisoners suffer. Drex stopped at Jack and Lily's cell. He looked at the old man with disgust. "You are the one who killed 3 soldiers, he said. "You do not look so dangerous now." Jack said nothing. He sat on his bed, eyes forward, face blank. Drex turned to Lily. "And you, the strange little one, do you still think you are a honey badger?" Lily stood up slowly. She walked to the energy field. Her face was level with Drex's chest. She had to look up to meet his eyes. "I asked about you," she said. "The other prisoners know you. They say you hurt people for fun." Drex smiled. "I do. It passes the time. They say you killed a baby once. A Myra baby. Because its mother was too slow." Drex's smile widened. "The weak deserve to die." Lily nodded slowly. Her expression did not change. "My grandpa taught me something. He said that evil people always think they are safe. They think nobody can touch them. They think power protects them forever. Your grandpa is a fool." "No, he's a Marine." And he taught me that evil people are always surprised at the end, when the people they hurt finally hurt them back. Drax laughed loudly. You threaten me? A child? A tiny human child? I am not threatening you, Lily said. I am warning you. There is a difference. Threats are what weak people do. Warnings are what kind people do. I am being kind right now. I am giving you a chance. A chance to do what? Lily tilted her head. Her brown eyes were steady and cold. Run, she said, while you still can. Drax laughed again. He laughed until tears formed in his eyes. Then he walked away, still chuckling, shaking his head at the stupidity of humans in the cell. Jack put his hand on Lily's shoulder. You gave him a chance, he said. That was good. He will not take it. No, he will not. Lily looked up at her grandfather. Then we do it the hard way. Jack nodded slowly. We do it the hard way. 3 days later, they moved. The station was quiet at night. The lights dimmed to save power. Most guards went to their rest areas. Only skeleton crews watched the prisoners. This was the time the Valari felt safest. This was the time they made mistakes. Lily lay on her bed, eyes open, counting silently. 17 minutes. 17 minutes and 30 seconds. 17 minutes and 45 seconds. 80 minutes. The energy field on their cell door flickered. For 2 seconds, it went dark. Lily was already moving. Her small body slipped between the bars easily. The gap was too narrow for adults, but she was 7 years old. She was tiny. She was exactly the right size. She landed in the corridor on silent feet. Her heart beat fast, but her mind was calm. She had practiced this moment 1,000 times in her head. She knew exactly what to do. The nearest guard station was 30 meters away. 2 Valari soldiers sat inside, watching screens, bored and tired. They did not see the small shadow moving along the wall. They did not hear the soft footsteps. Lily reached the door to the guard station. She typed the code she had memorized. 7-4-2-9-9-1-5-8. The door slid open. The guards turned. Their eyes went wide. A human child stood in their doorway. Hello, Lily said. Before they could move, before they could shout, she pressed a button on the main console. The button she had watched guards press 100 times. The button that opened all the cells in this section. Alarms screamed. Lights flashed red. And 40 human prisoners rushed out of their cages. Jack reached the guard station first. He moved like a storm. One guard raised his weapon. Jack broke his arm. The other guard tried to run. Matt appeared behind him and put him to sleep with one punch. We have maybe 10 minutes before reinforcements arrive, Jack said. Emma, the life support controls. On it. Emma ran down the corridor. 2 other humans followed her. Matt, secure this section. Free the other species. Tell them what is happening. Matt nodded and disappeared into the maze of cells. Grace, get to the medical bay. Level 4. Lily has the code. Grace knelt in front of Lily. What is the code, sweetie? 7-7-3-9-2-1-8-4-1. Turn left after the second checkpoint. The door is green. Grace smiled and ran. Jack looked at his granddaughter. You need to stay hidden now. Find a safe place and wait. No, Lily, no, Grandpa. Her voice was firm. I know this station better than anyone. I know where every guard is. I know every code. You need me. Jack wanted to argue. He wanted to protect her. But he saw the truth in her eyes. She was not a normal child anymore. Maybe she never had been. Stay behind me, he said. Always. Yes, Grandpa. They moved together through the station. Jack in front with a stolen weapon. Lily behind him, whispering directions. Left ear. Right here. 2 guards around this corner. 1 guard in that room. The Valari were not prepared. They had never faced anything like this. Their prisoners were supposed to be broken. Their security was supposed to be perfect. But humans did not break. And human children were not helpless. Emma reached the life support control room. She typed the codes Lily had given her. The screens lit up with options. Oxygen levels, temperature, pressure. Every section of the station was at her fingertips. "Okay, you blue-skinned monsters," she whispered. "Let us see how you like breathing problems." She dropped the oxygen levels in the guard quarters by 40%. Not enough to kill, just enough to make them weak and dizzy. Across the station, Valari soldiers stumbled and fell. Their lungs worked hard for air that was not there. Matt freed the Thorax prisoners. Then the Myra. Then a dozen other species. Word spread fast. The humans were fighting. The humans were winning. Join them or stay in your cage. Most joined. The uprising spread like fire. Prisoners who had given up years ago found new strength. Prisoners who had forgotten hope remembered it. They fought with their hands, with stolen weapons, with tools from the workstations. They fought like they had nothing to lose, because they did not. Jack and Lily reached the command center. This was the heart of the station, the place where everything was controlled. 10 Valari officers waited inside, including Commander Dex. Dex had come to the station to deliver his prisoners. He had planned to leave in the morning. Now he was trapped with them. "Impossible," Dex said. He stared at the screens, showing chaos everywhere. "This is impossible." The door to the command center exploded inward. Jack walked through the smoke, weapon raised. Behind him came 20 freed prisoners from 5 different species. And beside him, small and calm, walked Lily. Dex's 4 eyes focused on the child. He remembered her. The strange one. The one who talked about honey badgers. "You," he breathed. "You did this." "We did this together," Lily said. "But yes, I helped." The Valari officers raised their weapons. Jack's group raised theirs. For a moment, nobody moved. "You cannot win," Dex said. "More ships will come. The Empire will crush you." "Maybe," Jack said. "But not today. Surrender now, and I will make your deaths quick." Jack laughed. It was not a kind sound. "You still do not understand, do you? We are not prisoners anymore. We are not slaves. We are humans. And humans do not surrender. All species surrender eventually. Not us. Not us." Jack stepped forward. "We come from a planet that tried to kill us every day. Ice ages, plagues, predators, natural disasters. We survived them all. We did not just survive. We conquered. We spread across our world and then we reached for the stars. Primitive luck. No, stubborn refusal to die. It is in our blood. It is in our bones. It is in our children." He looked at Lily. "Especially our children." Drex, the cruel overseer, burst through a side door. He had a weapon pointed at Lily. "Nobody move!" he screamed. "I will kill the child." Lily turned to look at him. She did not flinch. She did not cry. "I warned you," she said quietly. "I told you to run." "Shut up." "You did not listen. That was your choice." Drex's hand shook. There was something in the child's eyes. Something old and cold and patient. Something that made him feel like prey. "You should have run," Lily said again. "Now it is too late." Matt appeared behind Drex. One massive hand grabbed the weapon. The other grabbed Drex's neck. The overseer fell unconscious without making another sound. The other Valari officers dropped their weapons. Dex stood alone, surrounded by enemies. His station was lost. His soldiers were defeated. His prisoners were free. What will you do now? He asked. Jack smiled. Now we send a message. Station Crick 7 belonged to the prisoners now. 40,000 freed slaves walked through corridors that had held them captive for years. Some laughed. Some cried. Some just stood in silence, trying to understand that they were free. The humans worked fast. They had no time to celebrate. More Valari ships would come. The Empire would respond to the silence from the station. Every minute mattered. Emma took control of the communication systems. Matt organized the freed prisoners into groups. Grace set up a medical center and started treating the wounded. Jack coordinated everything, giving orders like he was back in the military. And Lily sat in the command center, surrounded by screens, doing what she did best: watching, learning, planning. The Valari have a broadcast network, she said. It reaches every planet they control, every ship, every station. Jack looked at her. How do you know that? I watched Commander Dex use it. He sent reports to something called the Imperial Council. The codes are stored in this computer. Emma came over. She studied the screens Lily was pointing at. She is right. This is a galaxy-wide communication system. We could send a message to everyone. Everyone? Matt asked. Every Valari ship. Every Valari planet. Every conquered world. Every slave camp like this one. Silence fell over the command center. The idea was enormous, dangerous, crazy. We could start a war, Grace said quietly. We are already in a war, Jack replied. The Valari started it when they conquered their first species, when they built their first slave camp, when they decided that other beings existed only to serve them. But we are 23 humans. We cannot fight an empire. No, but we can give others the courage to fight. Jack turned to Lily. What do you think, sweetheart? Lily looked at the screens. She thought about the prisoners she had seen. The Taurochs with their gentle faces and broken spirits. The Myra who had lost everything. A dozen other species who had forgotten what freedom felt like. We tell them the truth, she said. We tell them we won. We tell them they can win too. And if they do not believe us, then we show them. We show them who we are. We show them what humans can do. Jack nodded slowly. He looked around the room at his people. 23 humans. Farmers and scientists and families. Ordinary people who had done an extraordinary thing. Emma, can you set up the broadcast? Give me 10 minutes. Grace, how are the wounded? Stable. We lost 2 Taurochs in the fighting. Everyone else will survive. Matt, security status? All Valari soldiers are locked in the cargo hold. No weapons. No communication devices. They are not going anywhere. Jack took a deep breath. Then let us change the galaxy. 10 minutes later, everything was ready. A camera pointed at a chair in the center of the command room. Screens all around showed the broadcast signal reaching out across space. Billions of beings would see this. Billions of beings who had given up hope. Who speaks? Emma asked. Everyone looked at Jack. He was the leader, the warrior, the natural choice. But Jack shook his head. Not me. Then who? Jack looked at Lily. Her. The child? Matt frowned. With respect, Jack, this is serious. We need to show them the truth. And the truth is that a 7-year-old human girl did what entire armies could not do. She watched. She learned. She remembered. And she brought down this station. She did not do it alone. No, none of us did it alone. That is the point. Jack knelt in front of his granddaughter. Lily, you do not have to do this. If you are scared or uncomfortable, I am not scared, Grandpa. I know. But this is big. Really big. The whole galaxy will see you. Lily thought about it. She thought about the prisoners she had met, the children in the other cells who had never known anything but captivity, the parents who had lost hope, the old ones who were just waiting to die. They need to see, she said. They need to see that anyone can fight. Even someone small. Even someone young. Even someone who looks weak. Jack hugged her tightly. That is my girl. Lily sat in the chair. Emma counted down. The lights came on. The broadcast began. Every screen in the Valari Empire flickered. In the Imperial Palace, High Sovereign Kel looked up from his dinner. On 100 warships, commanders stopped giving orders. In 1,000 slave camps, guards and prisoners alike turned to watch. A small human child appeared on every screen. Hello, Lily said. Her voice was calm and clear. My name is Lily. I am 7 years old. 3 weeks ago, I was captured by the Valari Empire. They put me and my family on a ship. They brought us to a place called Station Crick 7. They told us we would work in the mines until we died. She paused. Her brown eyes looked directly into the camera. They were wrong. In the Imperial Palace, Kel leaned forward. This was impossible. A child could not access the Imperial Broadcast Network. A child could not. 23 humans took this station, Lily continued. Not soldiers, not warriors, farmers, scientists, families, people like me, people like my grandpa, ordinary people who refused to give up. Turn it off. Kel screamed at his advisors. Cut the signal. But they could not. Emma had locked the broadcast systems. No one could stop this message. The Valari call us primitives, Lily said. They call us weak. They call us easy prey. But they do not understand us. Humans come from a planet that tried to kill us every day. We survived. We learned. We grew strong. She held up a small device. It was a Valari emergency beacon, modified by Emma to reach every communication system in the network. This is going to every species the Valari ever conquered. All of them. Every slave camp. Every prison. Every place where beings have been told they cannot fight back. Lily leaned closer to the camera. I am here to tell you something different. You can fight back. You can win. We did it. We are proof. Look at me. I am 7 years old. I have no army. I have no weapons. I just have my family and my friends and my stubborn human brain that refuses to quit. In slave camps across the galaxy, prisoners stood straighter. Guards looked nervous. The Valari want you to believe you are weak. They want you to believe that resistance is impossible. They want you to give up. But giving up is a choice. Fighting is also a choice. And tonight, 40,000 beings on this station chose to fight. Lily smiled. It was not the smile of a child. It was the smile of something much older, much more dangerous. My grandpa told me about honey badgers. They are small animals from Earth. They fight things much bigger than themselves. They never give up. They never stop. The Valari tried to put honey badgers in a cage. That was their mistake. She held up the beacon. The honey badgers are coming. And we are bringing friends. The broadcast ended. The screens went dark dot in the Imperial Palace. Cal sat in stunned silence. Around him, his advisors whispered in fear. What do we do, Sovereign? Crush them. Send the fleet. Destroy that station and everyone on it. Sovereign. It may already be too late. Reports were coming in from across the Empire. Slave camps rioting. Prisoners breaking free. Conquered planets showing signs of rebellion. The message had spread like wildfire. A 7-year-old human girl had just started a revolution, and she was not done yet. The galaxy was not the same anymore. The Valari Empire, which had ruled for 3,000 years, was falling apart. Rebellion burned on every conquered planet. Slave camps emptied one by one. The great war machine that had terrified 17 species was crumbling like old stone. And it had all started with a message from a 7-year-old girl. Lily was 8 now. She had grown taller. Her brown hair was longer, but her eyes were the same. Calm, watchful, always learning. She stood on the bridge of a warship, called the New Dawn. It had once belonged to the Valari. Now it flew under a new flag. A flag that showed 18 different species standing together. The flag of the Free Worlds Alliance. Jack stood beside her. His hair was whiter now. His body carried more scars. But he was still strong. Still fighting. Still protecting his granddaughter. "We are approaching Valari Prime," the captain announced. She was Taurox, one of the first species the Valari had conquered. Her name was Kira. She had spent 30 years in a slave camp before Lily's message gave her hope. "How many ships?" Jack asked. "Our fleet numbers 5,000. The Valari have 800 defending their homeworld. They used to have thousands. Used to. Most of their fleet was destroyed or captured in the past year. Their soldiers surrendered by the millions. Their conquered worlds broke free. They have nothing left." Lily looked at the view screen. Valari Prime was a beautiful planet. Blue oceans. Green continents. White clouds. It was hard to believe that so much evil had come from such a lovely place. "What about the Imperial Palace?" she asked. "Our ground forces are moving in now. The High Sovereign has refused to surrender. He's trapped in his throne room with his remaining guards." Lily nodded slowly. "I want to talk to him." Jack looked at her. "Lily, he needs to understand, Grandpa. He needs to know why this happened. He is dangerous." "Not anymore." Jack wanted to argue. But he had learned something over the past year. His granddaughter was not just a child anymore. She was a symbol, a leader, the face of a revolution. Billions of beings across the galaxy knew her name. Billions of beings had been inspired by her courage. If she wanted to face the High Sovereign, she had earned that right. "Okay," Jack said, "but I'm coming with you." "I know, Grandpa. You always come with me." They took a shuttle down to the planet's surface. Matt and Emma came with them. Grace stayed on the ship to coordinate medical support for the ground troops. The Imperial Palace was massive. Golden towers reached toward the sky. Crystal windows sparkled in the sunlight. Gardens filled with strange and beautiful plants surrounded the main building. It was the most magnificent structure Lily had ever seen. It was also the place where orders had been given to enslave billions. The place where conquered species were divided up like property. The place where High Sovereign Kel had ruled without mercy or compassion. Now it was surrounded by soldiers from 18 different species. The golden doors were broken. The crystal windows were cracked. The gardens were filled with fallen Valari soldiers who had tried to defend their master. Lily walked through the chaos with her head held high. Soldiers from every species stopped to look at her. They whispered her name. Some bowed. Some simply stared in wonder. A human child had started this. A human child had given them hope. And now that human child was walking into the heart of the enemy empire to finish what she began. The throne room was enormous. Golden pillars held up a ceiling painted with scenes of Valari conquests. A long red carpet led to a raised platform where the High Sovereign's throne stood. Kel was sitting on that throne. He was old. Older than Lily had expected. His blue scales were faded. His 4 eyes were tired. A dozen guards stood around him, weapons raised, ready to die for their master. But they did not fire. They could not. The Alliance soldiers behind Lily outnumbered them 10 to 1. This was over. Everyone knew it. "So," Kel said. His voice echoed in the great hall. "The honey badger has come to finish me." Lily walked forward. Jack stayed close behind her. She stopped at the base of the platform and looked up at the High Sovereign of the Valari Empire. "You conquered 17 species," she said. "You built an empire on slavery and fear. You told yourself that you were powerful, that you were special, that other beings existed to serve you. We were powerful. We were special. No, you were bullies. And bullies are never as strong as they think they are." Kel laughed bitterly. "You call us bullies? We ruled the stars. We commanded fleets that could burn worlds. You put a child in a cage," Lily interrupted. "You looked at me and saw nothing. A tiny human. A primitive species. You did not see a threat. You did not see a danger. You just saw a small girl." She stepped onto the platform. The guards raised their weapons higher. Jack tensed behind her. But Lily kept walking. "That was your mistake. You did not understand humans. We are not strong because of our bodies. We are strong because we never give up. We are strong because we help each other. We are strong because even our children learn to fight." She stopped directly in front of Kel's throne. "My grandpa taught me about honey badgers. They are small. They look weak. But they fight things much bigger than themselves. They do not care about size. They do not care about strength. They just keep fighting until they win." Kel stared at her. For the first time, Lily saw fear in his eyes. Real fear. Not of her. Not of the army behind her. But of what she represented. Change. Hope. The end of everything he had built. "What will you do with me?" he whispered. Lily thought about it. She thought about all the suffering the Valari had caused. All the lives lost. All the families destroyed. Part of her wanted revenge. Part of her wanted to hurt him like he had hurt so many others. But that was not who she was. That was not who her grandpa had raised her to be. "You put us in cages," she said finally. "So we are going to put you in one. A nice one. With a window? You will live the rest of your life watching your empire become something better. Watching the species you enslaved build something new. Something fair. Something kind. You think kindness wins wars? Kindness did not win this war. Stubbornness won this war. Teamwork won this war. Hope won this war." Lily smiled. "But kindness is how we make sure the peace lasts." She turned and walked back to her grandfather. Jack put his arm around her shoulders. "And every day, for the rest of your life," Lily said without looking back, "you will remember that you could have avoided all of this. I gave you a warning. I gave you a chance. I told you to run." She looked over her shoulder one last time. "You should have listened." 6 months later, the Free Worlds Alliance held its first full assembly. Representatives from 18 species gathered on a space station built specifically for this purpose. They called it Unity Station. Lily was there. Not as a leader. Not as a symbol. Just as a girl who wanted to see what she had helped create. She stood at a window, looking out at the stars. Her grandpa stood beside her, holding her hand like he always did. "You did good, sweetheart," Jack said. "We did good, Grandpa. All of us. True. But it started with you. With a little girl who watched everything and forgot nothing." Lily smiled. She thought about the journey. The capture. The slave station. The uprising. The message. The war. All of it started because the Valari made one simple mistake. They underestimated a human child. "Grandpa?" "Yes, sweetheart? Can we go home now? I miss Earth. I miss our house. I miss going fishing." Jack laughed. It was a good sound. A happy sound. A sound Lily had not heard enough over the past year. "Yes, Lily, we can go home." They turned away from the window and walked toward their shuttle. Behind them, representatives from 18 species worked together to build a new future. A future without empires. A future without slaves. A future where every species, no matter how small, had a voice. And somewhere in that future, in a quiet house on Earth, an old Marine would teach his granddaughter how to fish. They would sit by a river and watch the water flow past. They would talk about nothing important. They would be happy, because that was what humans did. They fought when they had to. They survived against all odds. And when the fighting was over, they went home and lived their lives. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Never cage a honey badger. Never underestimate a human. And never, ever threaten a human child in front of their grandfather. Some mistakes you only make once. The Valari had made that mistake. They should have run.